Hey everyone, it's Hope Yoder with Embellish Maker. Fall 2019 includes a free update for Embellish Maker, and in this video I want to show you how to use the new text edit shortcut. So whether you use the text shortcut here or you travel to the cabinet text and create text by left clicking and then left click in the workspace, and notice all these little nodes. This means I'm in the text mode, the edit mode. And by clicking and dragging on the blue diamond, I can bring the letters closer together. Or by clicking on the orange box, I can move them out of alignment. Now, if I want to get out of this text mode, I'm going to left click on the select tool. And notice now I don't have those edit tools. In the past, before this free update, I had to select text again to get the edit nodes to reappear. Instead of that, I can do one of two things. I can simply, on my keyboard, with my finger, select the key T. And by doing that, I have those edit buttons again. Let me get out. And now the other option, instead of selecting T, which is a keyboard shortcut, then I can right click and left click on edit text. And here's just a little clue. Go to the R&K software page, software club, and then look under tutorials and training for Embellish Maker, and I've got a keyboard shortcut document you can print. But to find all the shortcuts, when I right click and I see something in the right column, these are keyboard shortcuts, which means you just do what it says on your keyboard with your fingers instead of a mouse. So I can right click and choose edit text, or I can simply select T on my keyboard. That's pretty amazing. Now let me undo all of this and let's talk about puff foam for a minute. Now, puff foam is a technique where you're going to lay our embroidery dimensional foam underneath the thread or on top of the hoop before you stitch text. And in the past Embellish Maker, you could choose any font that's an outline font that has the letter O in front of it. For instance, Stick Doll. If I selected that and apply, let's zoom in here. All right, and I'm going to zoom into this letter. I don't have any sealing stitches or a capped end stitches, but using the outline font, I can travel down in the properties window until I find something that says puff foam capped ends. I'm going to select it and select apply, and it adds all these stitches that will trap the foam so it doesn't ooze out of the end of the stitches. Kind of like, imagine you had toothpaste in your hand, a toothpaste tube, and instead of toothpaste being inside, you had our dimensional embroidery foam. And I squeezed it with the cap off. That foam would ooze out of the end. And that's what just putting foam underneath a satin stitch will do. You have to seal it or cap it. So if I took that same toothpaste tube filled with foam and I put a cap on the end and screwed it on tight and squeezed it, nothing would come out because the cap is preventing the foam from sticking out of the end. And that's exactly what puff foam capped ends mean. Well, let's come on back down here and let's click and scroll up. Now, I told you in the past you had to select the letter O outline font, but now with this new free update from Embellish Maker, I can select built-in fonts for Embellish Maker. For instance, autograph. It doesn't have an O in front of it. I can select that, and when I come down, I still see the puff foam capped ends. So I can apply this. All right, and when I zoom in, you can kind of see that it's applied those ends. So that's new. Now you have even more fonts available than you did thanks to this free update from Embellish Maker. Now I do want to say one thing about capped ends. Just because the letter O, or in this case, there's nothing in front of it, that means it's a built-in Embellish Maker function. If you're wondering, the letter N is actually a crafting cut font. And because I have crafting cut On this computer, I have it installed and registered. I have more fonts than you may have if you don't own Craft and Cut. All right, but back to Elfin 4mm. Let's apply this and let's zoom in. Now this sucker is little. It is 4.4 millimeters. Now let's go into the edit function and grab our ruler. I'm going to left click and I'm going to left click and drag, and that's 1.1 millimeter. You guys, this is itty bitty teeny tiny, and I am not going to put foam underneath of it. I want to select something big. So just because I can cap the ends doesn't mean I should. We need to use common sense and think big chunky letters are a better choice.